So we're back in downtown Courtney. We've made the 125-kilometer drive up from Nanaimo here to Courtney just to recover my wallet, and then we're going 125 kilometers back. Why, oh why, did I have to leave my wallet here? Oh well, I mean, it is a nice town. You know what, in the end I'm kind of glad we took that trip because we had a lot of fun. We're singing the Rent soundtrack start to finish. The Rent soundtrack, we've both listened to a million times and we pretty much know all the words, but it was cool learning that we both shared that, so we spent most of the trip singing that, so that was a lot of fun, and we were listening to each other's playlists, so we made a memory out of it, and that's all that counts, I guess, and I got my wallet back, so all is well, I suppose. Partially because I wanted to bring a familiar part of my home with me on the road, and also partially just because I am an enormous dweeb. I actually brought, I don't know if I've mentioned this, I think I must have, I brought my record player and a full box of records, that's not even all of them, I've taken some out for the video, on the road with me. I'll be honest, it's a lot of work to do this. I actually damaged my needle slightly in transit. Still works, but I just have to be more careful with it now, and I'm going to have to get a new one for when I leave the island. So I don't think I'm actually going to do anything like this in the future, next time I go out on the road, but it was a fun little experience, and I'm glad that I brought them. Because I'm a music history buff, and just kind of a dork in general, what I've been doing lately is listening to my whole rock and roll record collection in chronological order, or at least the albums I like. I haven't listened to every single one, but so part of what I brought is every album in my collection from 63 to 66 is in my record collection. So like I just took out the stuff from 65 here. I got an Animals EP, which yes is signed by the lead singer Eric Burden, who I met about 4 years ago at a signing. This Pickwick compilation of Fats Domino's albums. James Brown. God, I love James Brown. Rolling Stones' early album, Out of Our Heads. Tom Jones. I saw Tom Jones live too, I'm not even sorry. Beatles, Four Seasons. Early Temptations album. Really cool record there. Beach Boys. This is the first press of Beach Boys Today. Another weird compilation of Who albums, which were pretty popular in the 70s, those weird compilations. Leslie Gore, who I actually love a lot. Roy Orbison, Supremes, Young Rascals, Petula Clark, and Beatles again, as well as a whole bunch of singles from the time period. So yeah, that's just my collection for 65. One thing I think I'm going to feature in this vlog is some stuff about my record collection and some of my favorite albums. On top of just the albums from that time period, I also brought a collection of my favorite albums, including this Pirates of Penzance soundtrack. This is from the 1981 version with Linda Ronstadt in it, my favorite singer of all time. I also have the entire pretty much every album from Linda Ronstadt's classic period. I brought Prisoner in Disguise, Heart Like a Wheel. They're not in order, apparently. Got Hasten Down the Wind here. And I have a couple more, I'm just not sure where they wound up in my collection. Anyway, so I also brought all of the classic Billy Joel albums, The Stranger, Turnstiles, Stormfront, and a few more. Yeah. Born to Run, I got Tragically Hip's up to here. My two favorite Queen albums, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, another James Brown album, actually two more, Hot Pants, and I Got the Feeling. Yeah, I brought a lot of good stuff with me. Both of my Woodstock soundtracks, Volume 1 and 2, and then a few stand-up comedy records, which I like to put on at the end of the night sometimes. And at the very back is my favorite Billy Joel album. That's Glass Houses. And some more assorted singles in the front. This just makes me happy, you know? It's just like, to me, the reason I collect records, a lot of people collect them for different reasons. Like, they say it's the highest sound quality that you can get, which isn't quite true. And so in theory, if you have a perfect record playing through a perfect sound system, you are going to get fantastic sound out of it. But I don't collect records for the sound quality. I'll be honest, I stroll through bargain bins. I've got a lot of stuff in my collection that's very worn. Like, it's not all super new, you know, there's some scratches in it, in a lot of these stuff. But I consider, like, my wall of records in my house to be like a little rock and roll museum, just for me. You know, and with me on the road, I decided to bring an even smaller version of my rock and roll history museum. Just grounds me, brings me back home when I'm done after a long day on the road. Only 2 more days, though, on the road before we're back home for 1 day, and then we got another week that we're heading out. But yeah, I think I'm going to give a couple of these a spin. Why not? One of a newer song of mine. Wrote it pretty quick before I went out on tour here, and it's a song about a feeling that you just can't quite put your finger on. It's a song called Feel It.
Getting late in the evening, can't sleep through one more of these nights alone. I just can't feel it. Wanna pick up the phone, but my mother might hear me. A fuss, and if I don't get this out, well, I think I am just gonna bust. Well, I wish I could tell you, wish I could share how much I need you to be there. Hurts me to know that you are really on your own. Woo! that you feel it, 'cause I feel it too. And I can't stop thinking about you. I just keep falling in and out of my blues. Well, I know that you feel it, 'cause I feel it too. And I know I'm lonely without you. I just keep falling in and out of my blues. Yeah, yeah.
Alright, we spent a lot of time today jamming and working on music, but it wasn't really the type of jamming that's good to go on the vlog. It was more like running individual sections of songs over and over, like real practicing more than jamming. But we're all set up for our next couple of gigs now. It's going to be fantastic. Just got to make up my set list for our show in Duncan, and it's going to be great. So again, today, I just thought I'd throw in another performance clip from one of my last couple of shows, because got a lot of good footage from those shows, and it'd be a shame to only show one song from each of those concerts. So it's a cool little thing, I think, for me to include some footage of concerts that I wasn't able to show on that day, just when there's a vlog like today that's maybe a little bit shorter. So hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I'll catch you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.